Hi friends, great welcome to our Gspace education platform. Today let we all know the interesting informations about plants in space.
Plants in space. In the late 20th and early 21st century, plants were often taken into space in low Earth orbit to be grown in a weightless, but pressurized controlled environment, sometimes called space gardens. In the context of human spaceflight, they can be consumed as food and/or provide a refreshing atmosphere. Plants can metabolize carbon dioxide in the air to produce valuable oxygen, and can help control cabin humidity. Growing plants in space may provide a psychological benefit to human spaceflight crews. The first challenge in growing plants in space is how to get plants to grow without gravity. This runs into difficulties regarding the effects of gravity on root development, providing appropriate types of lighting and other challenges. In particular, the nutrient supply to root as well as the nutrient biochemical cycles, and the microbiological interactions in soil-based substrates are particularly complex, but have been shown to make possible space farming in hypo and microgravity. NASA plans to grow plants in space to help feed astronauts, and to provide psychological benefits for long-term space flight. In the 2010s there was an increased desire for long-term space missions, which led to desire for space-based plant production as food for astronauts. By the year 2010, 20 plant growth experiments had been conducted aboard the International Space Station. For instance, Alan H. Brown tested seedling movements aboard the Space Shuttle Columbia in 1983. Early efforts. The first organisms in space were specially developed strains of seeds launched to 134 kilometers on July 9, 1946 on the U.S.-launched V-2 rocket. The first seeds launched into space and successfully recovered were maize seeds launched on 30 July 1946. Soon followed Ryan Cotton. On September 22, 1966, Cosmos 110 launched with 2 dogs and moisturized seeds. Several of those seeds germinated, the first to do so, resulting in lettuce, cabbage and some beans that had greater yield than their controls on Earth. Space Station era. The Svet-2 space greenhouse successfully achieved seed-to-seed plant growth in 1997 aboard Space Station. Plant research continued on the International Space Station. Biomass production system was used on the ISS. The vegetable production system, Veggie system, was later used aboard ISS. Expedition 44 members became the first American astronauts to eat plants grown in space on August 10, 2015, when their crop of red romaine was harvested. In December 2018, the German Aerospace Center launched the EU Cropus satellite into low Earth orbit. This mission carries 2 greenhouses intended to grow tomatoes under simulated gravity of first the Moon and then Mars, 6 months each, using byproducts of human presence in space as source of nutrients. A total of 20 plants was collected and prepared for transportation back to Earth. Lunar surface. From 2019. Change 4 lunar lander in January 2019, carried a 3 kg sealed biosphere with many seeds and insect eggs to test whether plants and insects could hatch and grow together in synergy. The experiment included seeds of potatoes, tomatoes, and Arabidopsis thaliana, a flowering plant, as well as silkworm eggs. These became the first plants grown on the Moon. Environmental systems will keep the container hospitable and Earth-like, except for the low lunar gravity. If the eggs hatch, the larvae would produce carbon dioxide, while the germinated plants would release oxygen through photosynthesis.